Jan Malone, your dementia mentor, and today I want to talk about normal aging versus not normal aging. So I'm going to give you several different scenarios as we progress through today. Have you ever been telling somebody a story and you can't remember a word? You know, I went to the beach and it was really warm, and that thing that's in the sky and it's yellow and it's warm, and oh yeah, I mean the sun. You can describe it, and eventually you will most likely be able to recall the word, or you can describe it enough that the person you're talking to says, "Oh, you mean the sun." Not normal aging is you have a hard time finding the words. You may use words incorrectly, and verbal and visual clues do not help. Sometimes people call this word salad. So let's use another scenario. I went to the sun and the beach was really, really warm. You get the context of what they're trying to say. It's just not used correctly. Normal aging. It takes a little more time to process information. So maybe you have a new cell phone and the salesperson is going through how to use it. You probably still may have to go home and read the user's manual and work with it a few times before you actually are comfortable with how that new cell phone operates. Not normal aging is you are unable to process the information. Your thinking is not the same. That cell phone looks like a telephone. You should be able to press the numbers and dial somebody, but you cannot learn that first you have to press talk. Normal aging. You're slower to think and slower to do. Not normal aging is you're unable to think the same and unable to do as before. I think the whole process of getting older is we're slower to do everything. What maybe took us 30 minutes now takes us 45 minutes. That's still normal aging, but that not normal aging is what would maybe take you 30 minutes, now you cannot do at all. Normal aging. We may hesitate more before we do. We're much more cautious. An example, you've been an avid bike rider and you had a little spill on your bike. You haven't ridden your bike for 6 months because now you're afraid, what if something more happens the next time I ride my bike? Not normal aging, they don't stop or think before they act. So they are unaware of the consequences and not afraid to do dangerous things. And I'm not saying riding your bike is dangerous, but let's say they've never ridden a bike and they have no care in the world to say, I'm going to ride a bike today, because they don't think about what may happen to them. Normal aging. Once a month, you go and play bridge. This particular month, you have a sub that comes in. You recognize that person, but you have to search for their name. And maybe once you start talking to them, you'll go, oh yeah, I remember who that is now. Or you may have to ask them what their name is. And as soon as they say, it's me, Jan, you're like, I know who you are. You're embarrassed, but that is normal aging. What's not normal aging is not even knowing who this person is on the right. So they're unable to recognize the person and even remember who that person is to them. So maybe your daughter comes to visit, and eventually you get them to remember what your name is, but maybe they never can get to the point where they remember that you are actually one of their kids. Normal aging. New information may take longer to sink in. We already talked about the use of a cell phone, but in this electronic age, we have a lot of things that we have to remember and buttons to press and passwords to keep in. We may be a little slower, but eventually it does sink in. Not normal aging, new information, even if it's old information, is no longer retained. So an example, my grandmother always made homemade cinnamon rolls. As she aged, she never needed a recipe for those cinnamon rolls. But if you asked her to cook a box of macaroni and cheese, she could not figure it out. She could not read the directions. She could not comprehend how to make that box of macaroni and cheese. Another scenario, you've done laundry all your life. You get a new washing machine, and that person with dementia is unable to figure out how to use the new washer. You can leave post-it notes, you can leave an instructional manual, but they cannot figure out how to do it. So even though it's old information on how to wash the clothes, that new information can no longer be retained. Normal aging. We need reminders of events. We need the use of our calendar to remember what we have going on for the week, whether it's a pedicure or the dentist. We need to have those reminders. We use a MediSet as we take our medications to remember, yep, I've taken today's meds. I took them in the morning and I took them at night. Not normal aging. They are confused between the past and the present. They will get stuck in a moment of time. So what do I mean by that? They do not acclimate if it's December and the Christmas tree is up to know that it's Christmas. Maybe in a split second they'll show, oh, I love the Christmas tree. But they do not understand that it's the day after Thanksgiving and we're just putting up the Christmas tree, and we have several more days until Christmas morning. Another example is they get stuck in that moment of time. So, for instance, my husband always wears shorts and always wears flip-flops. But we don't live where it's snowing. Somebody with not normal aging would wear those shorts and those flip-flops regardless of the season, regardless if it's snowing. They don't know that it's winter. They just know they want to wear their shorts and flip-flops. I hope you enjoyed today's educational moment. Please check back next week as we're going to talk about what memory loss looks like. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please like and share my videos with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks.